Dropshipping, side hustles, freelancing, that's Fing peanuts. You'll never get rich selling phone cases out of your mom's basement. I said it and I mean it. And if that hurts your feelings, good. Let it sting, let it cut, let it make you squirm, because the truth is supposed to hurt. You've been lied to, spoon-fed by little internet clowns selling you $997 courses, telling you how to run Facebook ads, Shopify stores, TikTok shops, and you idiots buy into it because it sounds easy, it sounds comfortable, and it doesn't force you to risk anything. But here's the reality. You'll never build wealth chasing crumbs. Never. Side hustles, freelancing, affiliate marketing, hamster wheels. You run faster, you work harder, but you're still in the same goddamn cage. You confuse motion with progress. You confuse activity with wealth, but you're not building anything. You're not building equity. You're not building assets. You're not building empires. You're just another broke little hamster running on a wheel, telling yourself you're an entrepreneur while you eat scraps. You're broke because you think small. That's the truth. You've been programmed since birth to aim low, to chase pocket change, to pat yourself on the back for making an extra $1,000 a month. Let me tell you something. That's not wealth. That's survival money. That's barely breathing. And yet the internet has you hypnotized, believing that if you just grind hard enough at your hustle, one day you'll be free. Bullshit. You're trapped. You've built yourself a cage and decorated it with motivational quotes from Instagram, and you're proud of it. Pathetic. Wealth isn't built on scraps. Wealth isn't built selling knockoff garbage shipped from China. Wealth isn't built hustling for peanuts on Fiverr or Upwork. Wealth is built on assets. Wealth is built on leverage. Wealth is built when you stop thinking like a hustler and start thinking like a killer. The killers don't chase side hustles. The killers don't start from zero. The killers buy, they acquire, they leverage, they scale. That's the fucking game. Let's talk startups. Everyone thinks they're going to be the next Bezos, the next Musk, the next Zuckerberg. You've got an idea, you build a pitch deck, you beg for seed funding, and then you burn cash trying to disrupt the market. 90% fail, 90%, and the ones that survive, they crawl for years before they ever see profit. Starting from scratch is a suicide mission for amateurs. And while you're bleeding out, crying about runway, the killers are out there buying companies that have already been making money for decades. They're not pitching investors. They're not praying for customers. They're cashing checks from day one. That's the difference between amateurs and killers. That's why they win and you lose. But no, you don't want to hear that. You want to believe that your little Shopify store, your little YouTube channel, your little freelance gig is going to change your life. You want to believe that freedom is one viral ad away. You're delusional. You're clinging to a fantasy because the truth is too hard to face. The truth is, you're not playing the game. You're playing with toys. You're not building wealth. You're distracting yourself with scraps. The real money, the kind of money that builds dynasties, isn't made in drop shipping, side hustles, or startups. It's made in acquisitions, buying businesses, stacking them, rolling them up, flipping them for exits so massive they make your head spin. That's how billionaires play. That's how dynasties are built. That's how you turn zero into billions. Not by selling fucking mugs online. Not by grinding out another $1,000 a month on your side hustle. By buying the beach while you're still building sandcastles. And let me break it down for you. You don't even need your own money to do it. That's right. You don't need millions. You don't need savings. You need balls. You need vision. You need the guts to step into the big leagues. Other people's money. OPM. That's the rocket fuel of wealth. Banks love lending for acquisitions. Investors are desperate for deals. Private equity is drowning in cash. Meanwhile, you're scared to swipe your credit card because mommy and daddy told you debt is bad. Debt isn't bad. Debt is power. Debt is leverage. Debt is the difference between being a player and being a spectator. And while you're sitting there stressing about a $500 ad spend, the killers are leveraging $10 million of OPM to buy a company that's been throwing off cash for decades. That's the game. And you're not even in the fucking stadium. You're broke because you think small. You're broke because you're scared of debt. You're broke because you'd rather stay comfortable than get rich. Look around you. Baby boomers are retiring in droves. They own millions of small businesses. Solid companies with cash flow, customers, systems, and they want out. They're begging for successors. They're desperate for someone to take the reins. And what are you doing? Building Shopify stores that compete with Amazon. Are you insane? You don't out-Amazon. You don't out-grind billionaires. You buy what works. You step into cash flow. You acquire assets. You use OPM to scale. That's the fucking game. So let me ask you something. Why are you still chasing hustles? Why are you still wasting years on startups that will almost certainly fail? Why are you clinging to the fantasy that one day your hustle will make you rich? It won't. It never will. Because until you step into acquisitions, until you embrace leverage, until you start playing like a killer, you're just another hamster spinning your wheel. This is why I scream. This is why I curse. This is why I get in your face. Because you've been brainwashed into thinking small. And I'm here to tell you the truth. The truth is hard. The truth is brutal, but the truth will set you free. You want freedom? Stop building sandcastles by the fucking beach. You don't get it yet, do you? You're still chasing peanuts. You're still addicted to the illusion of progress. You think that hustle makes you free, but it's slavery with a shiny label. Don't fool yourself. The second you stop grinding, the second you stop pushing, the money disappears. That's not wealth. That's not freedom. That's a fucking treadmill. You're running, you're sweating, you're gasping for air, but you're going nowhere. And you're proud of that? Wake the hell up. Look at the gurus selling you dreams. They don't make money from the hustles they preach. They make money selling you courses. They don't live off dropshipping. They live off you buying their lies. You're paying them to keep you broke. You're financing their empires while you stay stuck in your hamster wheel. They laugh at you. They know you'll keep coming back because you're addicted to easy answers. You want shortcuts. You want guarantees. And that's why you'll stay broke. Let me tell you something brutal. Life doesn't give a damn about your feelings. The market doesn't care if you worked hard. It doesn't care if you stayed up all night building your little Shopify store. It doesn't care if you manifested success. The market only cares about results. And results don't come from side hustles. Results come from scale. Results come from leverage. Results come from acquisitions. You want proof? Look at every billionaire you admire. None of them got rich flipping mugs online. None of them got rich freelancing on weekends. They got rich by owning, by acquiring, by leveraging, by playing in industries that actually matter. And you're terrified of that because it's big, it's scary. It requires courage. You'd rather stay small because small feels safe. But safety is the most expensive lie you'll ever buy. There's nothing safe about staying broke. There's nothing safe about trading your life for scraps. There's nothing safe about dying with nothing to your name. That's not safety. That's failure. That's cowardice. I've been screaming for decades. Debt is your best friend. Other people's money is your ticket to the big leagues, but you're too damn scared to use it. You've been brainwashed into believing that debt is evil, that borrowing is dangerous. Let me tell you what's dangerous. Wasting 40 years in a job you hate. Let me tell you what's dangerous. Grinding for a decade on hustles that collapse overnight. Let me tell you what's dangerous. Staying broke your whole fucking life. That's the real risk. When you acquire a business, you don't start at zero. You don't beg for customers. You don't pray for cash flow. You walk in on day one with revenue, with staff, with systems already in place. You walk into a machine that's already running. And if you're smart, you use the cash flow to pay off the debt. That means you control an asset that's paying for itself. That's wealth. That's freedom. That's the game. But you don't have the balls. You're too busy chasing crumbs. You're too busy looking for the next hustle. You're too busy distracting yourself with garbage. You don't even realize the opportunity that's right in front of you. Small businesses are everywhere, millions of them, owned by baby boomers who are desperate to retire. They've built solid companies. They've got loyal customers. They've got steady profits, and they want out. They want someone to take over. They're practically giving away the keys to the kingdom, and you're too blind to see it because you're busy drop shipping fidget spinners. Pathetic. Do you want to know how killers play? They don't buy one company. They buy 5, 10, 20. They merge them. They consolidate. That's a roll-up. That's the power move. You take 5 small companies, each worth maybe $1 million. Individually, they're crumbs. But together, rolled up into a bigger, stronger firm, suddenly the package is worth $50 million. That's scale. That's leverage. That's how fortunes are made. And you're not even aware of it because you're stuck chasing peanuts. Look at healthcare, nursing homes, senior living facilities, clinics. The population is aging, demand is exploding, and those businesses are cash machines. Recession-proof, predictable, solid. You think that's boring? You're an idiot. Boring is beautiful. Boring prints money while you sleep. You don't build a new clinic from scratch. You buy the ones that already work, you merge them, you scale them, and then you cash out for a fortune. That's what killers do. Look at financial services, insurance agencies, accounting firms, advisory companies. Individually, they're modest. Together, rolled up, they're gold mines. Investors line up to throw money at them. You don't hustle your way to wealth in this game. You acquire your way to wealth. That's how you go from zero to empire. Energy, oil, gas, renewables, the world runs on it. I built my empire in oil. And let me tell you, I didn't get there by selling garbage online. I got there by playing in industries that matter. Real estate, assisted living, commercial properties, these are assets that pay you forever. That's how the real players move. That's how dynasties are built. And you're still crying about the cost of Facebook ads. Wake up! The killers don't waste time hustling for scraps. They don't get distracted by shiny objects. They focus on acquiring, scaling, exiting. That's the play. That's the only play. And if you're not doing it, you're not even in the game. You're just a spectator, cheering from the sidelines, broke, bitter, and forgotten. And here's the kicker. You could play this game too. The opportunities are everywhere. The doors are wide open. But you won't, because you're scared, because you think too small, because you'd rather stay comfortable, because you'd rather lie to yourself than face the truth. That's why you're broke. That's why you'll stay broke, unless you wake the hell up and start playing like a killer. So stop telling yourself you're an entrepreneur because you've got to hustle. Stop patting yourself on the back for scraps. Stop wasting years chasing peanuts while the killers buy empires. You've been warned. The truth is brutal, but it's the truth. And the truth is this: you'll never get rich hustling. You'll only get rich acquiring. That's the game. That's the way. That's the only shot you've got. So let me ask you, how much longer are you going to lie to yourself? How much longer are you going to call a side hustle a business? How much longer are you going to convince yourself that making an extra $500 a month is wealth? Stop it. That's poverty with lipstick. That's survival with a filter. You're chasing crumbs while the killers are buying bakeries. You're building sandcastles while they're buying the beach. You're not in the game. You're not even near the field. You're sitting in the parking lot, broke, bitter, and watching other people win. And here's the brutal truth. Most of you will die broke. I've been saying this for decades. Most of you will never get rich because you can't stomach the truth. You don't have the balls. You don't have the mindset. You don't have the courage to step into the big leagues. You'll stay small. You'll stay safe. You'll stay broke. And you'll call it balance. You'll call it security. But it's just fear. It's just cowardice dressed up as wisdom. Wealth doesn't come to the careful. It doesn't come to the cautious. It doesn't come to the cowards. Wealth comes to the bold. Wealth comes to the ruthless. Wealth comes to the ones who are willing to take the risk, make the call, pull the trigger. Wealth comes to the killers who play the game at the highest level. And you're not one of them until you start thinking bigger. So what's it going to be? Another year of hustles, scraps, excuses? Another year of lies you tell yourself so you can sleep at night? Or are you finally going to wake the hell up, grow a pair, and play the game the way it was meant to be played? Because the clock's ticking. Opportunities are everywhere. Businesses are waiting to be bought. Empires are waiting to be built. And you're either going to step up and take them, or you're going to keep scrolling TikTok broke and bitter while the killers get richer. You want freedom? Then stop selling fucking phone cases out of your basement. Stop building sandcastles. Stop lying to yourself. Buy the goddamn beach. That's the game. That's the truth. That's the only way. Everything else is bullshit.